Okay, this is just a quick breeze through of what's in the menu settings for Star Wars Outlaws. As you can see, you can do manual saves. There are 3 auto saves for the game, and I just restarted it, so I don't know that. Oh, it did save the auto saves because I did just shut the game down. But you'll notice that occasionally they are really, really, really far apart. So keep an eye on that. Okay, so for settings, gameplay, there's basic, standard difficulty choices. What does that say? Motor presets, group common settings, auto perfect cooling. The auto perfect cooling refers to the blaster because if you shoot too much, it starts to get overheating. If you're having issues with shooting too much and it's just not cooling down the way you want, you can turn this on and it will just auto cool it down, auto perfect cooling for you. You can turn always sprinting on, change hold actions and stuff. It's really nice. Some camera presets. And most of these are available individually as well. These are just sort of like bulk on off things that you can do. Cognitive presets. The Kessel Sabak card header thing is the mini game, and there are cards. If you don't want symbols, you can do you can change them to numbers and stuff, which is really nice. Sort of you can do custom stylized numbers, things. So then colors, this is the color blindness options that you can choose. Vision, group of common settings to make menus and gameplay easier. High contrast, audio description that you can turn on for menu narration, that kind of thing. Some options in here. And then hearing. Like background color. Like I would like background color. Background speech subtitles, lockpicking visual cues you might turn on. You can customize. Like this I can keep off, but background color, like I wouldn't mind having. I guess it looks like you can pick, which is really nice. Oh, jeez, I went dark. I don't want that. Sound subtitles, I'll personally keep that off, but you can turn that on. Background speech subtitles, translated only, all, none. That's like background information that you might like want to keep on or not. See that, so we can apply that. Did that, and then we'll go back. So there's some presets that you can choose if you don't want to like go through and do them one at a time. So again, then here's gameplay individually that you can do. Just difficulties. Here's the auto perfect cooling, so it automatically cools the blaster, so you can focus on other things. You can turn always sprint on, which is actually kind of nice. I might actually have to do that, but actually I don't, because there are sometimes when first playthroughs I do like to walk a little slower. Fall protection. This keeps her from falling off ledges and or not. You can turn that on or off. As it is, she sort of does like this stumble thing. But Explorer mode, remove the guiding color on core navigational elements in the world for a more immersive experience. The screen shaking, view angle, change the view angle, field of view when not aiming to see more or less of the world. View angle when aiming. Here's the minigame stuff. So like I said, there's the symbols. In the picture, you have like the symbols and the numbers on it at the top. I personally find the font for the numbers a little bit hard to read. So I took like a screenshot of the tutorial screen that has the numbers next to the symbols and everything like that, and that really helped out, like for me. And then you don't have to turn this fast mode on, because when you're playing just regularly, there's actually over on the right hand side, there's like an L2 on PlayStation. I think it's L2. It's on the screen, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But where you can actually speed it up in increments, just the parts you want, kind of thing. So that's nice. But this is also nice too if you want, like, just want to turn it on. And then helper logs, weather events in Kesselspach trigger additional log lines. It's all part of the mini game, so you'll sort of like get more of a handle on it. There's a cheat mini game. because you can send Nyx over to go look at somebody else's cards, which is kind of funny. There's a rhythm challenge. This is the lock picking. Whether lock picking should have a rhythm-based challenge or be simplified. For lock picking, I've done a video on lock picking if it's taking a couple of tries to get through it. It's different than anything I've ever seen before, but there's a lot I haven't seen, so I don't know. But basically, there's a audio pattern that goes with the lock, and you're supposed to hit the trigger button in time with the audio beats. So this gives you a chance to sort of change that around if that's sort of like bugging you. You can turn that off. You can change the difficulty to hard or easy. There's a visual cue, which when you're doing it, there's lights on the side, and every time you're supposed to hit the trigger, the light flashes. So that there is a visual cue there. And this lock-picking visual cue actually refers to a circle that shows up right around the data stick itself. So it's an additional one, and it'll flash in time with the light, if that's something that you want. But I would give it a couple of tries first, and then obviously you can come in here and check that out. But so then slicing, this is it's a mini game for hacking computers. It's similar to the old school game Mastermind, where you get you put like 3 or 4 different icons in a row, and the game will tell you which one's right, which one's not right, and which one's in the right spot, kind of thing. So which ones you have to switch. But so that's slicing. Slicing attempts, how many tries you're allowed before failing. There's fewer. You can make that harder if you want. Instead of icons, you can change this to be numbers instead. The Galactic Street Food Challenge is sort of like a little mini game that has a time challenge with autocompletes. It is a QTE type situation. I've only done one of them so far, but basically you have to help Kay and Nyx eat. So there's like left stick plus triangle or right stick or stuff like that. So you can turn that on or off here if that's bugging you. And then Fast Talk is an ability that you get once you complete a certain number of stylized takedowns, certain types of takedowns and stuff like that. It's an ability. It's like a skill. So you can turn that on or off if you don't want it. And then Nyx prompts, or if they autocomplete. There's collision damage prevention. Keep that off for me. Whether flying your starship causes damage. Off. Ion stun prevention. Whether ion damage causes your starship to be stunned. There's auto throttle in pursuit mode, where you automatically control the throttle. This will try to keep your starship at optimal engagement distance. So there's your standard gameplay controls. So now you can see the controller layout here. This is sort of the default one. And then there's the speeder and starship. Here, let me start over on foot. So there's default, alternate, left-handed, southpaw, left-handed southpaw, and then back to default. So then speeder, alternate, left-handed, southpaw, left-handed southpaw, and then back to default. So then starship controls, it's default, alternate, left-handed, southpaw, and left-handed southpaw. So they have a lot of preset stuff. It's advanced controls with aiming and hip fire sensitivity, look sensitivity, speeder control sensitivity, whether you automatically line up with the horizon or align with moving direction if you want that on or off. Change hold actions to press instead of hold. can toggle Nix mode. If set on, this disables Nix quick actions. Right now, I think it's all press. There's adaptive triggers. Strong, weaker, off. Left stick, inner dead zone. Right stick, inner dead zone. Left stick, outer dead zone. Right, outer dead zone. Motion sensor, function. Invert. Vertical look. Sensitivity. Smoothing strength. Use roll for horizontal look. Enabling this option will let you control the camera's horizontal rotation by rolling the controller left or right. I have piloted the ship, and it did sort of tilt to the left, so I'm wondering if I want to kind of turn that on and keep it. I don't think hold the controller straight, and then maybe the ship will be straight. Horizontal boost. Movement of the camera. Aiming type. Dynamic amplifies certain movements of the controller, allowing you to make more precise. Linear makes the camera react more directly to the movements of the controller. Swap ping objective and Nix sense. On controller, swap the actions for ping objective. So for Nix, you want to hold L1, and then you move sort of like the reticle around and see what he can interact with and what he could do, whether fetch or distract or attack or something like that. And so this seems to like swap that with just standard ping stuff. Let's just move this on. So there's vibration intensity for weapons and melee and traversal. Nix, speeder, the abilities and equipment, world elements, starship, damage and death, minigames, environment, menus, and narrative. Other narrative content. So starship controls. So there's starship aim assist, which I haven't actually been in a fight in the starship. I mean, sort of we were in a chase early on, but for the most part, I haven't really done a ton of starship stuff. So starship aim assist, which type of aim assist is used while controlling follow target or manual aim. Ship control sensitivity. Pursuit mode allows your starship to follow a targeted enemy automatically. Press the pursue button once the pursuit mode on or off. Once to turn pursuit mode on or off. Or pursue while the button is held down. It's hold or toggle. Speed boost. Hold or toggle. Shooting. Hold or toggle. Press the shoot button once to turn it on or off. Or shoot while the button's held down. Starship Horizon Auto Align. Whether your starship will automatically align with Horizon or not. Okay. So we got aim assist, toggle sprint, and then your standard inversion stuff. Okay, so that's control. So display and graphic. There's your standard screen calibration stuff. High contrast mode. Looks like you have a lot of options to change this stuff around. It's really cool. Full plus world. Cinematic display mode. Force a cinematic aspect ratio regardless of the screen size. This may change the scale of interface elements. This is just default. I haven't changed any of this. Performance. Quality. I'm just staying on performance. It's motion blur, camera, motion blur, per object, motion blur, film grain, chromatic aberration, show color distortion on text and icons. Okay, so user interface. So you can have size of like subtitles and stuff, large, small, default. You can have simpler fonts. I've thought about turning this on because it has a lot of like Star Wars fonts, which I've never very well. So if the font is getting to you, you can change it to a simple font. That is something that can be done. You can capitalize keywords, which allow you to highlight important words by showing them in all caps, if that's something you want to see in the subtitles. Then there's colorblind presets, which you can also get through the visual tab. Increased contrast colors. There's HUD visibility, lets you decide how often the heads-up display element should be visible. There's contextual, where it pops up when it's needed. Minimal, not entirely sure how that's different. And then full, where it's probably on all the time. Icon, HUD icon size, default 120, 150, so you can make them a little larger if you want. HUD background, add a background behind the HUD to increase readability. That's nice. Player compass. You can have a center dot on or off. You can change the size of the center dot. Nick's quick actions. That's like an icon. That's what you see. Like if you hit L1 and you go scanning around, you'll see that icon a lot. It's like how you know like where to send them and stuff. So there's icon or dot or hidden if you want to be more immersive, I suppose. Markers. Whether objective and activity markers should display in the world. The markers will display in the world when you expand the objective tracker with up D-pad. We'll keep markers showing all the time. So there's ping and always. Distance unit is metric or imperial. Control reminders. Default or always on. Threat sense. Show or hide threat senses for nearby enemies. Enemy state icons. So if you want to, if this is on, you'll see like the yellow for the curious alert, early alert, not early alert, soft alert, and then red for full alert, just like it shows in the picture. And you can rotate the map to player view if you want, so that it's not always like north facing. It's whichever direction you're facing. And then if you want menu narration on or off, here's the volume. You can choose a voice.
Main. Up.
Voice 2.
Voice 1.
Voice 2. Off.
Off. How fast they talk. Oh, I guess I can't change that.
Faster. Nor slower.
And then what it reads. Whether it reads.
Option 5 of 8.
Okay, I'm turning this off.
Off.
Okay, so whether it reads the HUD or the objective, yes or no, or health status, yes or no, or weapon status, yes or no, which is a really nice accessibility option. And that was the end on that one. So language and subtitles. There's the voice language. Looks like I have English, French, Spanish, and Brazilian Portuguese. User interface language. English, French, Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese. Speech subtitles. You can do all or translated only, because there's a lot of non-English because of all of the Star Wars, you know, other languages that go on in the game or in the movies and stuff. They have like languages here. So then you can put a background color if you want. Dialogue text color, speaker name text color. Background speech subtitles, if you want to know what's being said over on your left hand side, you can turn that on. Speaker name color, you can change quite a bit of stuff. It's really nice. Text size, directional indicators, if you want to know where like the off-screen comments are coming from, it'll give you like a arrow kind of thing. And then audio, whether to play all sounds or to hide the less important sounds to let you focus on the ones that are critical. So you can have all or critical only. Audio description, a spoken description of what is happening visually in major cinematics. Audio description volume, audio mix, music frequency. Here's the volumes. I've always turned this down just so that I wasn't fighting it while doing this video. Hit feedback volume, that your hits have landed on their target, voice volume, cinematics volume, and controller speaker. There are some sounds that do come out of your controller currently, like by default. So those are the basic overall for the settings. If you have a question about something that might be available in the game or is not available in the game or you didn't see, let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. And there you go.